the disruptor in the online brokerage space, Zerodha, is now looking to enter the mutual fund space. Late last week, founder Nitin Kamath put out a tweet saying that they have applied for an AMC license to grow participation in the capital markets and address those who did not invest, citing the millennials. I had a chance to speak to Nitin on the rationale behind this move and how they would proceed. Listen into that conversation.
We've spent 10 years in this business, and it started off catering to active traders. Then it became investors. Then we started a mutual fund platform, direct mutual fund platform called Coin. And the experience over the last 10 years, what we have realized is the markets aren't really expanding as much. I think the entire country has between 1 to 1.5 crore people who actually invest in the markets, and potentially this could be 3, 4, 5 crores. And I think. As brokers, we are just a user experience on top of people who are manufacturing products, right? And so now, the belief here is that if you want to get the new bunch of 20 to 30-year-olds, the way mutual funds were designed, probably, someone has to give a shot at doing it in a different way. So we are not really, attempting this to go after the existing investors, because I think they're all taken care of quite well. This is focusing on the new bunch of guys who are currently not investing in the markets.
So what is this? Is this a reimagined product idea in the way it will be done and in the way it will cater to the kind of clients? Because you have mentioned, and I only have your tweet as a reference, speaks about how you want to focus on the millennials and not necessarily the entire landscape.
Yeah. The thing is, there are a bunch of threads that are running, right? As in, the easiest one I think that we will definitely go for is something like the Vanguard retirement funds, the target date funds. So because today I think people don't really have the background of financial markets. So if you start off selling a mutual fund saying small cap, mid cap, large cap, you have lost the person right at the go. So I think today when people are allocating funds, they just want to allocate for investing and forget about it, right? As in, especially the younger bunch, who don't really have as much bandwidth to sit and figure out, and this mobile phone that we have, which is always distracting all of us, So people are looking at an easier solution, I think, but still, it's still early days, I think we just got a lot of press around this. We've just applied. So firstly, we need to first get approval in place, and so it's still a long time away, but the multiple threads running.
No, of course. This interaction with you, Nitin, is not as much about what would Zerodha, what would it mean for Zerodha, as much as it means for what it could mean for the landscape. So, and which is why I was asking whether you're trying to reimagine the way it is done. Now, I heard you mention that you might, and I'm guessing it's early days, but you might look at a model which is similar to Vanguard did, so on and so forth. So are we looking at, or are you thinking on the lines of passive, low expense products which are simple and thereby trying to get in a set of people who you think are not biting the bullet because they find the existing products complicated?
Yeah, the thing is, stock picking is not our core competence, So as and when the information asymmetry in this country keeps going away, I think passive products are going to maybe start outperforming the active ones, eventually. So if we are playing it for the next 5-10 years, so we are not looking at active investing. Definitely it's going to be passive. It's going to be low cost. I think it's the bet is to kind of build some innovative products on top of these two things.
There are brokerage houses, or rather AMCs, let me correct myself, which are also starting off to offer such products as well, Nitin.
Right.
I'm just wondering, would you believe that the distribution would be a strength in order to be able to reach the set of clients? Would you do cross-selling, etc.? Because otherwise, established asset management companies are anyway starting to give products like these.
No, the thing is, even when we started brokerage, right? As in, every brand needs to be known for something. An active manager today selling some passive products is not like a passive-only fund. In the sense, there are so many conflict of interest, within an AMC if they're also doing active and passive, right? As in, if you're going to make more money selling active, how do you sell passive, right? So there are a bunch of conflicts that exist, when the same brand is doing conflicting kind of businesses. So, I mean, if we do this, it will be completely passive. So maybe, you need a brand in this country who will come and say that we are just passive and promote the whole concept of passive, in its true sense, yeah, but still early days, as I said.
Agree completely. Okay, just a couple of questions though. I mean, I'm guessing you've thought this through, but just so that I understand it better, Nitin, you anyways have this very large distribution platform, which I presume caters to almost all AMC products available under the country, and yet you will go out and launch an AMC of your own. Would there be a separate housing or a conflict to address the conflict of interest that might come up as a result of that?
No, I mean, this is going to be a separate company altogether. I mean, it's going to be at arm's length, all Chinese walls, etc. And if you look at it, right, I mean, the biggest banks in this country are also the biggest AMCs. They're also the biggest distributors. They're also the biggest brokers. So, I mean, and they've done this all well by keeping a distance between all the businesses separately. So we intend to do it the same way. Keep it as a separate business, away from the broking business.
Okay, just one last question, and again, it brings me back to the rationale that you gave at the start of this interaction about why are you intending to do this. Amongst other things that you mentioned, that the number of people or number of investors is largely not growing. Now, I know by looking at the flows that the quantum of money getting invested into mutual funds has increased quite a bit in the last couple of years at least.
Right.
In your experience with the clients that you have, does your research indicate that the large number of people who might be doing equity trading or investing with you or in some form or the other are connected to you are still not becoming mutual fund investors? Is that a real data that easily prompts you to start this?
No, I mean, see, the thing is, I think today the entire broking industry is catering to the top 15, 20 million Indians, right? As in, and we are kind of a subset of that. No, we do have a decently large size direct mutual fund business. We have powered over 10,000 crores of investments. So this isn't, as I said, I mean, the entire bet here is not, to build this for the top 15, 20 million Indians, for which everyone else is already building their businesses. I mean, this was to go after the 20 to maybe 50 million, that category of Indians who currently, are filing income tax returns, or probably have some money with them at the end of the month, but aren't really bringing it to the capital markets, right? So this was, saying, can you offer a differentiated experience to attract them to the market? The bet is that.